All right, guys, this is AI government contracting, and I am your AI government contractor. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the 3 steps to reading government solicitations with ChatGPT 4. And listen, my promise to you in this video is really simple. First, I'm going to be showing you the types of solicitations, okay? There are various types of solicitations. We're going to go into them, not everything, but the most important ones. Okay. I'm also going to show you how to pick your industry. Okay. You're going to understand something called NAICS codes. See, the government have a system for categorizing industries. And in the world of government contracting, there are multiple industries, and you need to know the industries you're going after. Today, I'm going to show you how you can actually identify the industry you want. Lastly, I'm going to show you what I call the 3 step framework for reading any government solicitation. I don't care if it's the state government. I don't care if it's the local government. What I can assure you is that this system is going to show you how to read and understand any government solicitation. So, guys, just sit back, relax, enjoy the ride because I am going to take the wheel from here. Now, before we go into the meat of this topic today, I want to pose a question to you. Where do you spend most of your energy? In your business, in your personal life? Do you spend most of your time working on things that yield you a result? Or do you spend most of your time working on things that yield you nothing? The person on the screen is someone who is actually really popular. For anyone who doesn't know who he is, that's actually Jordan Belfort. He's the person who the movie The Wolf of Wall Street was made after. In some communities, Jordan Belfort is seen as a hero. He's seen as a sales guru and someone that must be respected. And in other communities, he's seen as a born criminal. But you know what? Today, we're not here to have a moral debate on what Jordan Belfort should have done. I'm specifically going to be picking out from his book, The Straight Line Sale, something that he said about the 3 types of buyers. He actually mentioned more buyers, but I want to really focus on these 3. He talked about the buyers in heat. A buyer in heat is someone who is already feeling the pain of not having a particular good or service. They are currently feeling the pain, so they are prioritizing reducing that pain by making a purchase. Then we have the buyers in power. One of the easiest way to know a buyer in power is when they say, listen, we're just shopping around, okay? We've been speaking to your competitors. Buyers in power recognize the pain that is going to come from not having this good or service, but they also recognize that that pain is like 6 months away. They recognize the pain is 12 months away. So they have a moderate level of wanting to purchase, but it's not urgent. And then we have the tire kickers. The tire kickers are some of the worst set of buyers that you ever encounter in your life. Okay. Let's be serious. These people ask the most questions. They want to know the serial number of your product. They want to know how many people were in the room when the name of the service or the product was created. They want to know how many times the product goes through quality assurance checks. And even when you give them the correct answers to these questions, guess what? They never buy. These are tire kickers. So I want to ask you again, where do you spend most of your energy in your business? If you're in the world of sales, do you spend most of your time talking to tire kickers, engaging conversations with people who are not going to make a purchase? Or do you spend time with buyers in heat, the people who already recognize that they need the product or the service? They already feel the pain of not having the product or the service, and they just need a person who is going to connect them to the solution. Do you spend your time with buyers in power who are ready to wiggle you around, talk to your competitors, and make a decision 6 months down the line? And lastly, where do you think the government actually fall on these list of customers? I'll be interested to know what you think. But as we move on to the next slide, we're going to talk a little bit more about solicitations. Now, let's just break it down. The word solicitation itself means to request or to appeal for something, okay? But then in the government context, a solicitation will refer to an official process by which the government agency or the entity requests a bid or a proposal or some information from a potential supplier or a contractor to deliver on a good or service. So these solicitations are just a way of the government asking for who is qualified to fulfill their need. Okay. Now, listen, there's so many different types of solicitations. We can go into an hour lecture about solicitations, but look, just as I have pointed out in the previous slide, we're not going to learn everything. We're going to learn what we need to learn. We're going to focus on what is actually important. The first type of proposal I want you to look out for: RFIs. These are called requests for information. Okay. Here, the government's goal is to gather information. Perhaps they want to know a technical statement. How is this work going to be done? Let me give you an example. Let's say they're looking for lawn care for 1.5 acres of land, and it's an RFI. They just want to know how it's going to get done. They want to know, okay, what's the price point? Perhaps it's a new project. They've never done this before. It's a new space of land. They want to know how much they need to budget. The RFI has a low commitment, or rather, I'll say no commitment to buy. RFIs in this situation would be like even worse than a tire kicker. Because you see, the difference between regular customers and the government is the government would tell you when they're only looking for information. So you need to be savvy enough to know that, okay, this is an RFI. Do I want to prioritize this? Then we have RFQ. It's a request for quotes. The request for quote has a moderate level of buy. They want to know the price, okay? They want to know the pricing for the specific items or the specific service. In this situation, however, the government may not necessarily be looking to buy, but if they see something that's great, they will buy. If they see a great quote, a great technical statement, then they will buy. Okay. The level of commitment to a purchase here is moderate. The level of commitment to an RFI, there is no commitment to purchase. Now, I'm not saying that if you submit some information to the government, there's no chance that they would then see a good proposal and then call you, contact you in order to get the work done. But it's important to know that RFIs do not prioritize purchase, they prioritize information. And then RFP, I will call this the creme de la creme because here you know that there is a commitment to purchase. They're looking for a quote. So they seek a comprehensive proposal and they evaluate the quality. And in fact, right now, just because I'm feeling generous, I'm actually going to show you some examples. Let's look at sam.gov. This is live. I have not looked at these proposals in the past. So let's see if we could actually put some of this knowledge into work, right? Let's just throw in a random industry. I'm just going to type in there technology. Just to show you how simple this is. I'm freeballing and you're going to see it right here with me, okay? This is an RFQ. What does that mean if you recall? It's a request for quote. Okay? You're going to see these acronyms just scattered around. And once you understand them, you know exactly whether you're going to look into this. Like, for example, we've seen it's an RFQ. We've seen that the date is April 12th. Today is April the 2nd. So, which means that there's time for you to actually chase down this proposal. See, this is the reason why I'm teaching you some of these acronyms so you can become a speed reader. You see, once you see an RFQ, you know exactly what that means and you know whether you're going to chase it or not. But just looking here right now, technology of acquisition, original source sought. Okay. But guys, let's go right back to our slides and just move on here. I want to show you how you can pick your industry. Okay. This is going to show you how to pick your industry. Oh, my lights just went out. Okay, now we're going to show you exactly how you can pick your industry. Now, the government have something called a NAICS code. Okay, NAICS stands for the North American Industry Classification System. And this North American Industry Classification System is simply a method, okay, that uses statistical analysis and economic activities to classify industries. In simple terms, NAICS code is the code that represents your industry. Okay, so we have examples of NAICS code. We have two examples here. The NAICS code is usually a numerical value. Here you have computer systems, design, and related services. So let me show you something right now. If I come in here and I copy this NAICS code, let's say I've chosen to be in IT services, and I go up to sam.gov and I throw in that NAICS code, guess what happens? All of the requests or the solicitations that appear are going to be related to the industry of IT, computer services. So you see training support team, instructional system design capability development. We're going to have IT related proposals, or rather, IT related solicitations from the government by knowing the NAICS code. My recommendation here is that you pick out 5 different NAICS code, 5 different industries that you're going to be bidding on. Again, this is what's important here. This is really key, and I want to be in a good position to tell you that where you can really see my face. Okay, let me make myself a little bit bigger, guys. You don't want to make this mistake. Number one, you do not want to focus on only one industry. This is going to be a problem. This is going to limit you. I know. You've been in this industry for 15 years whatsoever. I get it. But in this game, you do not want to focus on only one industry. Also, in this game, you do not want to try to go for all the industries. Like I said initially, there are many industries that you can pick from, but you want to select a good 3 to 5. I hope that's clear. Okay, well, let's move on. Let's move on because I'm sure some of you want to see something more practical. So let's talk a little bit about the 3 step system, the 3 step framework that's going to help you to understand any, and I mean any solicitation, whether it's in Canada, whether it's in America, whether it's a state government level, whether it's the local government level. At the end of the day, these solicitations are just the government asking for people to fulfill their needs. Now, following this system is going to allow you to be able to read any solicitation. I'm saying this over and over again. So today, I'm going to review this 3 step system. Number one, you want to identify your niche. You identify your niche by understanding the 3 to 5 cage codes that you're going for, the 3 to 5 industries that you're going for. Number two, when you have put that industry into sam.gov and you have selected the bid, make sure it's an RFQ, right? A request for quote. You have accepted, or you have accepted that you want to use or you want to bid on this particular solicitation. You want to download, be it the statement of work or the performance work statement. I'm going to talk about these documents in my next video. Okay. After that, you're going to want to analyze the solicitation using this special prompt. This is the special prompt I promised. And before we even go into talking about the prompt, I'm going to pick out an example here. I'm going to pick out an example here. Let's see. That first one had Let's see if I can put some of that work into action right now. We have clicked on the solicitation. This is all live. I have never looked at this before. So I want to have the same, I want you to know that this is going to be the same way you're walking through these documents as well. You're going to see the notice, the related notice, award details. Okay, so what is a sole source con- contract? See, I don't even know that. So I'm going to find out right now using my best friend, ChatGPT. What is sole source contract refers to a non-competitive procurement process where a contract is awarded to a single supplier without competitive bid or tender process. This typically done in situations where there is only one source that is capable of delivering the required goods or service. Do you see that? Everything is properly defined. There's no room for confusion. Okay. But we're not going to look, we're going to look for RFQs. We're going to look specifically for RFQs. So I'm coming back here again and I'm going to type in technology. And let's see if we can actually locate. See if we can locate that particular RFQ. Oh, that's not how to spell technology. All right, guys, we have an RFQ here for laser systems. Okay. We've decided that this is an RFQ. It's also a total small business aside. I'm going to talk about set asides in one of my upcoming videos. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel, and you're going to be getting more of that information, more of that tea. But what we want to do here is we want to see the attachments. Okay. Here we have attachment. We have RFQ, the request for quote. In this document, you're also going to find the specification, the objectives of the government. Okay. So once I click on this, it's going to download. The first step is what? You want to find your industry. We chose technology. The second step is to select the solicitation and download either the statement of work, the performance work statement, or the request for quote. We've downloaded the request for quote. The third step is to add that request for quote into ChatGPT 4 specifically. We've thrown it in there, and there's a special prompt that we want to use. I'm going to use this special prompt now. Oh, there we go. Control C, Control V, enter. And now let's watch it do its thing. And just for reference, that prompt is simple. It says this: analyze the attached document for objectives, deliverables, and deadlines. Include codes and contact info. So check this out. It says this document is a request for quotation for a four laser system, solicitation number, blah, 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 conducted under the authority of FAR. And I think that means the Federal Acquisition Rights. I might have gotten that R wrong, for commercial items with an emphasis on simplified procedures for certain commercial products and commercial services. What's the objective? To procure four laser systems as per the attached specifications. The procurement is 100% set aside for small businesses under NAICS 354516 with a size standard of 1,000 employees. It means that the companies in that industry, you must not have a company that goes beyond 1,000 employees. So this NAICS code, let's actually find out the exact industry. What does this mean? Okay. So this NAICS code 334516 is analytical laboratory instrument manufacturing. Okay. They do not want a manufacturer with more than 1,000 employees, which was the specification, because that is called the size standard. Like I said, the government is extremely clear. They don't leave room for ambiguity when it comes to solving their problems. But let's check this out. For laser systems and the deliverables, there's an evaluation criteria, and this is really cool. I'm so glad that this came up because a lot of people say, oh man, I can't write a proposal. Government proposals are too complicated. Typically, the government look for three things in your proposal, and it came up right here. Technical capabilities, number one. So the offer must demonstrate their ability to meet the technical requirements. So you're going to create a technical statement based on the manufacturer, how you're going to deliver the product, everything. Experience. They're always looking for a past experience. Is this something that you've done before? Show me your work. And once they see that you've had past experience that is, I would say, commensurate to the work that they currently have, then that will give them the impression that you have the capacity to fulfill their need. And the third thing they're looking for is price. Okay. You must offer or you must provide a firm fixed price for each line item and total price for all items. Listen, I would round up this video by saying this. The government is extremely specific about what they want. And you have to be very specific about giving them exactly what they want and only making suggestions after you've given them what they want. Guys, this is AI government contracting. I am your AI government contractor. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel to get more and more AI uses for government contracting.